Kendama challenges are something that can keep the community going, that can keep your motivation going throughout playing Kendama, especially for those people who don't have a strong group of friends right around you, some Dama homies to get that level of motivation. But throughout the years, there's different types of competition slash challenges, contests that we can see online, in person, of course. But hey, there's one that happens in the fall, and we're going to open up the book, the stanky book of what Stanktober is. So let's hear, when did it begin?
2019, it was right before NACO. It was like, I was thinking, I was like, there isn't another challenge in October, and I always see the, Inktober, because you're a fellow artist as well.
Yes.
You like to sketch and draw.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I always seen Inktober every October, and I was like, maybe I can make like a Kendama one. I was like, that'd be sick. I was like, I'll just do it, and I was called like Stanktober.
So for anyone who doesn't know, for illustrators or people who like to sketch and draw, Inktober is one for October. It started with one person, and that artist would make a prompt list for each day of the month. And within that, you would look at the list and see, okay, today the prompt is frog. And so your illustration should be frog. And the big challenge is to finish a piece every day. This is something, just like 28 Tricks Later, can be pretty daunting, because especially I feel like in the art world, there can be connections with Kendama players where you want it to be good. You want it to be the best thing. You want it to be something new, something you could be really proud of.
Well, and it's supposed to be with ink, like the ink portion makes it even harder, like no erasing.
It really depends on how you look at it. It could be something that's really defeating, where you feel like, I have no time. It's not exactly what I wanted. Oh, I'm losing hours of my day because I want it to be perfect, compared to an outlook of, hey, I only have this much time. Let's see what I can do within that, so I'm able to at least sketch and get it done, instead of being perfect just to do something. Because how are you going to get better at anything? You got to do this shit, continuously. You, just like Kendama, you got to pull up and you got to miss that spike 100 times before you can confidently spike. But you, Cam, you made this, sounds like, on the whim. How long from your idea of maybe I should try it to creating the list and posting it?
Oh, just like immediately, it was just like one night, I was just like, looking, and I was like, I'll just make one and just see what happens, and then I just put it out. That was really it.
Tell me about the list. How has it evolved from earlier years to this year?
And definitely, I've added some different things. I've experimented with a couple of different themes over the years too. Like last year, I put like Speed Trick B, and this is kind of paying homage to
Yeah.
the Japanese trick and the originality of it. And like this year too, I put in make a trick. So Speed Trick, make one. So I'm gonna experiment with that and see, give people the opportunity to kind of create their own speed trick. Maybe I added Kendamalicious. So like you get the app, maybe it'll bring people to the app. They can check the app out and maybe make a video just based on any of the tricks you're doing, like just the list or whatever. You take a picture or whatever you do to just kind of edit it in, but do it from the app and pick some tricks and do it and make a vid. And I did Kendama art too. I've been doing that, where you draw something, so it's not like everybody has to stress every day. You can have like a little bit of a relaxed day. You draw or something. Or,
Yeah.
And then the last one is like adding something that isn't Kendama, like speaking about yourself. Like what else do you do? The art or other hobbies, cards, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Adding a more personal level. They can add into it.
I feel like in some ways it's almost like Dama dice. You just roll the dice and it's like, oh, what are the tricks that pop up? Okay, that's what you have to do. So it does in ways help you focus on what is the task at hand. What do you need to do? You don't got to think like 28 Tricks or other ones like, what am I going to post? What's the grind I'm going to do today? It's like, oh, here it is. Bird. Okay, do bird. Take a picture of a bird. Like, I don't know.
At least, yes, that's perfect. That's exactly the perfect explanation for Stanko.
Yeah.
It is Kendama based, but if you want to take a picture of a bird instead of doing a bird, for Slade, dude, laced it. Let's go.
There can be a challenge, and the thing with it is that you don't have to do it. And I feel like this is the question that a lot of people have. Like, what are the rules? So Cam, let's hear it so everyone can understand. right now, make it clear, what are the rules, bunny ears, air quotes, of Stanktober?
Follow the list however you like and post a trick and have fun. Mainly have fun. That's the most important rule, is to have fun during the
Yeah.
whole thing. Yeah, just really experiment and figure out about your Kendama play, what you can do. Reach out of that box. You know what I mean? And get your mind going and start thinking of stuff from those themes. We're all trying to get to the same objective of completing this or having fun with it and looking at our footage after and stuff. Also, number one rule, you don't have to tag me. Just hashtag Stanktober 2024.
What kind of player can take part in this challenge?
More or less, it's not very beginner friendly. I try to make it as open to everybody, but it is maybe a little more intermediate play, but not too bad where nobody can join at all. I didn't put like border balance up there because a couple of years, that's what I've changed. I made it more like inclusive for every skill level, more or less.
It can be a little challenging, extra challenging for those people who are just starting out. I remember one year, I think you did ghosts, and I decided to just like, let's look at it in a different way. Let's step out of the box for a second. And instead of actually doing the ghost trick, all I did was set up the camera in an empty room, and then I just recorded, and then I just clacked the kendama in the background and like spike. If you could guess, the idea was like a ghost is playing kendama, right? What's the number one question that you get from people about Stanktober?
Just like what something is or what it means, maybe.
Okay.
What does this day mean, or do I have to do this or do I have to do that kind of deal?
What are the pros and cons that you would say about this challenge?
Some of the pros are just like the satisfaction you get and surprising yourself on like what you can really do with these themes that I give you. And then also it's just like time, like prioritizing kendama throughout your day in your month of October. If you're very busy and you want to do it, it's still going to be like, depending, it's going to be very challenging to just keep going and going and going. That's what I feel like with any kendama challenge, though, is that aspect of I got to film this and this and this. But that's where I think the theme maybe lightens up the mood a little bit. It's a hard thing,
touching back to what I was mentioning before of the perspective on how you look at this challenge. If you're looking at it as a chore, then you got to figure out like, oh, when do I have time to do this? I don't have time. It's the middle of the night. It's like, do I try to get it? I'm too tired. What do you prioritize? And I feel like it can be a good wake-up call for those people who want to always just make a new trick, make it the best ever, grind something that is there, right? It's like your skill level can get there, but it's a real push and it's going to take time. And it's like, where should I put all my eggs, right? Do I put it in the Stanktober basket, or hey, possibly I should think about creating an edit for YouTube? Because that's something that's kind of, we need more, I feel, in the community, especially for the old heads.
That could be a theme next year.
Talking about adding more pressure to everyone, Cam. But yeah, looking at that and being like, okay, where should I focus my energy? Like something quickly that I can do that I'm happy with to just put out there and to be a part of the challenge, or to be very aggressive with it and be like, I want to make this the best. And pretty much, again, it's all up to you who's watching, who's being a part of this challenge. It's up to you to push yourself or to stay relaxed in a chill place and enjoy the challenge. Possibly for the people who are in the beginner level of a kendama play, like, oh, you've never done lunar before. Here's this opportunity to kind of grind a little bit and grow through it. So I think that's like a really important part of not just of Stanktober. Of course, it's integral with Stanktober, but all challenges, I feel, with Natty November, 28 Tricks Later, it's really how you look at it will then change your perspective of what the challenge is. If it is fun, if it's a pain in the ass, or if it's just whatever, just something to do to get you off of scrolling on your phone and prioritizing something that can possibly help you out in your grueling day-to-day, going to work, with the family, anything you have to school, all this stuff you have to do. Kendama is like the happy place, I feel, for many people. So this is a time to be like, hey, put that in the schedule.
If you want an extra challenge for yourself, which I always do too for myself, I don't know why, but I put it on my story as a highlight too, so I'll do 31 different tricks on my story.
Different tricks?
Different tricks.
Oh,
like selfie tricks. Selfie. Yeah, I'm just Kendamalicious. Like, I get that feeling, you know, I want to do more. I want to play more and do more fun. I don't know. I get addicted, and when I feel that addiction again, I like to go in on it.
Cam, what's a message you would like to give to the people taking part in Stanktober this year?
Don't worry about it. Have fun with it. Let your mind be free. Go for whatever it is. Don't go too hard on yourself, but don't give up either, because you got it. It don't matter. It's all about letting go and just putting that action forth and having fun with it, and it shall happen.
Nice.
Thank you. I love you. No.
Oh, Cam, thank you so much for hanging out and explaining, opening up the books, that stanky book of Stanktober, and hopefully giving everyone a little more insight and answering some questions about this fun challenge that is very open and just whatever you want it to be. So take part in, everyone. Follow Cam. Enjoy Kendama.
Follow Kendertainment. Follow MJ. Follow the nerds. Let's go.